Wrestling fans, Joe Wheeler here along with Dakota Booth, welcoming you to another action-packed Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour. Dakota, what all we got going on this week?
We've got a great program this week. LT Falk is going to take on Joe Briggs for that television title he holds. Misty James is here. Jandre Jackson is here. We've got a big program, and the Cripplers are going to be in action a little bit later on. So as you can see, the match is already in the ring. Let's get that underway right now.
Let's take it down there. We've got wrestlers in the ring. Get it going here. Fans, we're glad you're tuned in. Checking out Southern States Wrestling as we've got LT Falk making his debut here in Southern States Wrestling, taking on our TV champion, Joe Briggs. And I tell you what, this should be a tremendous, tremendous matchup.
It most certainly should be. LT Falk, as he mentioned last week, is the son of Tony Falk, who's a very famous wrestler. He traveled all around the country winning championship titles, and he's a former world-class tag team champion in Dallas, wrestling guys like the Von Erichs. If you're a wrestling fan, you know exactly who they are. He's a former Mid-America champion. So LT is definitely following in his father's footsteps, and he wants to continue following in his dad's footsteps by being a champion.
No doubt about that, Dakota. You're absolutely right. And LT, a tremendous second-generation superstar. And we're glad to have him here in Southern States Wrestling, and that's why he's able to come right in here, get a shot right off the bat at the TV champion, Joe Briggs, as LT right there, waistlock from behind, and Briggs right there created separation. Beautiful arm drag take over there by LT, and he's back up, ready to rock. Drop kick right on the button, kicked him right in the face on that drop kick, Dakota.
And we see two very, very technical wrestlers in here. They're not just out there jumping off ropes and jumping in the air. They're staying on the mat. They're using those high school and college type wrestling moves, and it's a very entertaining match so far, Joe, as both these competitors are definitely giving it their all, chasing after that title.
No doubt about it, and I tell you what, great series, great exchanges already by these two men, and Briggs caught him right there with that knee right to the midsection. And Joe Briggs had better not get too confident here, because LT Falk could explode on him in a heartbeat, as Briggs now brings his man back up, got him front face lock, took him over there in a suplex, and now going for a cover, got maybe a 1.5 count, barely a 2 on that one, as LT's trying to make his way back up to a vertical base. But yeah, LT's father, Tony Falk, tremendous, legendary competitor, Texas, Tennessee, all over the Mid-South area, and LT's following in his footsteps, and I'm sure his daddy is very proud.
I'm sure also, and I'm not sure how glad Joe Briggs is to see LT Falk here, but I know we're definitely glad to see him here. It's always awesome to see a new, fresh face here at Southern States Wrestling again, especially one that's competitive and one that can kick the TV champion's tail, as he's involved with the Cripplers, and they're just absolutely disrespectful, and I know we're supposed to be unbiased here at the desk, but I can't help but to just really dislike those guys and anybody that's associated with them. And there, right there, showing his cocky side. And Joe Briggs, you have to forgive me, he just gets under my skin, and I like to see Mr. Falk here taking it to him as he gets him with a little roll-up pin right there with a 2 count.
LT caught it. Briggs right there responds with a beautiful drop kick of his own, and he put that right in the face of LT Falk. I mean, no question about it. Briggs, he's not a very likable guy, to say the least. But the one thing, and it's something I've said about Frank Parker and Scott Sterling as well for years and years, as a person, I don't like them at all. But as a wrestler, you have to acknowledge their skill, their ability as a competitor. and that's the same thing with Briggs. LT, though, he's rocking and rolling him here with a series of clothesline. LT, and caught him right there with that spinning kick. LT's got the champ in trouble, and he got a 2 count on him right there, Dakota.
But like you mentioned earlier, Joe Briggs better be careful about how confident he's acting in the ring, as LT Falk's really taking it to him right now. He gets him with a running bulldog right there. Quick cover pin, 1, 2, and only a 2 count.
That was real close, too.
Big rake to the eyes right there by Joe Briggs is kind of expected. Duck the clothesline to here.
Both men were jockeying for backslides there. Briggs has rolled out of the ring now.
He's put his hands up. I don't know if he's just taking a breather. LT Falk has definitely worn him out. He's going
to get counted out if he doesn't get back in there.
I think he just told the referee to count him out. He's saying bye to the ring. Technically, title doesn't transfer on a count out, so it's a smart move right there by Joe Briggs. Your winner is LT Falk, but title doesn't change on disqualification. So
I'm telling you right now, I came here and I had intentions of coming out victorious by a pinfall or a submission. Win it by count out, that's not my cup of tea. I think these people deserve much better than that. That guy.
Come on, there's no call for this. There's no call for this, Joe Briggs.
What's going on? What's up with that guy's attitude, man?
Calvary Baptist Church, 1238 Pine Street, Kingsport, Tennessee. Regular schedule of services: Sunday, 9:15 a.m. for Bible study fellowship class for all ages. 10:30 a.m. worship. 6 p.m. blast for children, wake for youth. Sunday night life for adults. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. children and youth activities. 3D Bible study for adults.
If you are part of a non-profit organization, listen to this. You now have the opportunity to bring the wrestling TV stars to your town and make money for your group. Over the past 2 decades, Southern States Wrestling has helped raise money for church groups, schools, ball teams, volunteer fire departments, children's hospitals, Ronald McDonald House, scout troops, and many more. Our staff is waiting to hear from you and get started on what could be your biggest fundraiser to date. Southern States Wrestling and your group are the perfect tag team to raise the funds you need.
The TV stars of the Power Half Hour are coming to a town near you. Saturday, July 12th, Appalachian Fairground, Gray, Tennessee. Food, music, fireworks, and professional wrestling at the Gray Block Party. Free admission. Saturday, July the 5th, Ashland, Kentucky. Summer Motion, the biggest summer festival in the tri-state. Mick Foley and Jim Cornette will be in Ashland. June 20th, Gray, Tennessee, at the Community Center, a big Southern States Wrestling TV taping.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome your former Southern States Wrestling Ladies Champion. You all know her and love her, Misty James. Misty, I know it's been a tough year between Bo's injury and the recovery process, you losing your Ladies Championship, and, of course, Rebecca Lynn now coming back in Southern States Wrestling after you. I know it's been a tough year, but we also know how tough Misty James is. We also know if there's anybody who can overcome it, it's you, Misty.
That is right, Joe. I will say one thing. I have had a rough year. I really have. But I'm not giving up. I will not give up. I am not like that. I will tell you one thing. I want another shot at Rachel. You know, I had 3 chances, all right, to regain that title. Now I want a shot next week because I heard what she's saying about me. And she doesn't have no idea exactly what kind of person she's stepping into the ring with. Whenever I step into that ring, I mean business. And I'm getting ready to show that little girl some southern manners. Let me tell you one thing. But, I've got to watch behind my back whenever I step into the ring with Miss Rachel. Because I have no idea what Rebecca Lynn, where she'll pop out at, what corner she'll come out of. I have no idea because I got to keep my eye on Rebecca Lynn to make sure she does not jump me from behind whenever I'm trying to regain my Southern States title. Whenever I step into that ring, I'm not going to let these people down. I am country strong. I will survive. And that title is coming back where it belongs.
There you have it, Misty James right there, fans. DeAndre, man, thinking about Kyle Cool and all the things that have gone down between you and him, I know you were focused on getting that Southern States Wrestling Heavyweight Championship from around his waist.
Oh, you better believe I'm very interested in getting that belt from around his waist. You know, I heard him talking about being a Hall of Famer, bragging about how big his arms are, who he's trained, where he's been, what he's done. Does not matter. Not at all. Because you see, he's talking about being everywhere and being a champion, but where is he? Where is Kyle Cool? He's never around when I'm around. He's hiding, if you will. But you see, it's only a matter of time. And all I'm asking for, and I feel like all I need is one chance, one opportunity, if you will. And I bet, and I believe that Southern States title will be coming with me. So when we get in this ring, like I said it before, you're going to see that my bite is much worse than my bark. And when I get a bite of you, you best believe I'm going to send you packing. And it's going to be me with the Southern States Championship. Now, if you didn't know, now you know.
There you have it from DeAndre Jackson Wrestling fans. We're going to have tag team match coming up right after this.
Attention Mountain Empire. Do you have a business, website, products, or an event to promote? Let us help you reach the masses with TV and internet ads. For just a few dollars a week, we offer commercial spots on Southern States Wrestling, reaching over 150,000 homes in the Mountain Empire and the world with YouTube. Don't wait. Jump on this opportunity now to reach a large audience for an affordable price. Email sswking@aol.com for all the info. Advertising packages you cannot afford to pass up.
The TV stars of the Power Half Hour are coming to a town near you. Saturday, July 12th, Appalachian Fairground, Gray, Tennessee. Food, music, fireworks, and professional wrestling at the Gray Block Party. Free admission. Saturday, July the 5th, Ashland, Kentucky. Summer Motion, the biggest summer festival in the tri-state. Mick Foley and Jim Cornette will be in Ashland. June 20th, Gray, Tennessee at the Community Center. A big Southern States Wrestling TV taping.
The bell's gone and the match is underway. Frank Parker and Shane Royal starting out in the ring. Joe, this would be a big opportunity right here for Shane Royal and Chris Norris if they can pull off a win over the Cripplers.
Oh, no doubt about that. Dakota be a huge feather in their caps here as Shane Royal is starting it off here with Frank Parker. And Shane Royal's showing Frank Parker right away he's come for a fight right here tonight as he caught him with a hard right hand. And Frank, of course, complaining about it. But Frank responding with a big hard right hand of his own right there. They're not called the Cripplers for nothing, Dakota, as you well know.
Absolutely not. They've been the most dominant team over the past few years. As we see a tag right here. And I don't know if you noticed or not, Joe, but when they were coming out, Frank Parker held up Bo James' whip. I know that whip when I see it. I've been around it enough, and that is my uncle's whip. And Frank Parker still has it, and he's bringing it out, flaunting it, taunting, I guess, everyone in the James family with that whip.
It's just part of that provocative nature that Frank Parker has. He's constantly stirring trouble, constantly stirring up something. And, that's just one little way that Frank likes to try to get under people's skin, to remind them constantly of what he's done to Bo James, to remind them that that whip truly belongs to Bo James, was given to him by Dirty Dutch Mantel. It's just another way that Frank is always just poking and prodding and making it worse.
Big boot to the jaw right there, Shane Royal. And the Cripplers are fighting like they're after something, and I know exactly what it is. They're after those tag team titles. They want those back badly.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, both these guys were extremely embarrassed by that loss. Borderline humiliated by the fact that they lost to Jake and Ray, which, Jake and Ray make a tremendous tag team. So there's nothing to be embarrassed about. The Cripplers are, a devastating force here in Southern States Wrestling and have been for some time. But they're embarrassed, and so now their egos are hurt, and now they're going to try to hurt everybody that they can.
Absolutely, as we see Shane Royal getting a tag from Chris Norris, as he gets an elbow drop and covered and gets a two count before Frank Parker throws him off of him.
Norris, I tell you what, he came in with a lot of fire, but as often happens when you meet an immovable object like Frank Parker, you don't go very far. 300 pounds, and he's an absolute monster bent on a path of destruction as Frank Parker. So I wouldn't get in the ring with him for $1 million.
We see a little tag team action inside the ring here as Frank Parker was holding up Chris Norris as Scott Sterling laid a boot right to his face and got a quick pin just for a 2 count. Sterling lifts Norris to his feet, Irish whip, and we see a big flip right there, trying to get a pin, and it doesn't happen. The pin is down, and just a 2 count.
Norris had him rolling, but again, the Scott Sterling exploded on him, and he says that's why we're the champs. They don't have those belts currently, but unfortunately, it probably won't be long back in the hands of the Cripplers.
He must have forgot about that loss a few weeks ago as he goes for a pin after a big clothesline, but only gets a 2 count. Raises Norris back up to his feet with a big suplex right in the middle of the ring. We see a tag right there from Scott Sterling to Frank Parker. Sterling holding Norris up as Frank Parker delivers a big boot right to the shoulder. Frank Parker taunting, asking where Bo James is.
He's calling him out, no doubt about it. Frank Parker makes no bones about it, you know. And, of course, we have seen Bo pop up here a couple of times in Southern States Wrestling in the past couple of weeks. Of course, Frank Parker, you know, not too happy about Bo James's involvement in the heavyweight title matches as well, where he put a stop to some shenanigans and helped Ray Idol at least advance to the finals matchup. You know, so Bo's been coming around, and he's ready to fight. It's just the doctors are not ready to clear him.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that itch is starting to get to him a little bit, and he's dying to get back in this ring. And if I know my uncle like I know my uncle, it will not be long until he is back in this ring, wreaking havoc on these two cripplers, Frank Parker and Scott Sterling, as they are just taking it to Chris Norris right now.
You know, there's an old saying, be careful that you don't bite off more than you can chew. And though Frank Parker and Scott Sterling are big boys and they can chew plenty, they're going to have a Bo James after him ready to chew on them. So they better be ready when he does come around. Norris right there with a huge flying clothesline right there. Took Scott Sterling down, but Norris is not able to recover himself. He's stunned from the impact as well, and that allowed Scott Sterling the opportunity to land the first blow after that clothesline.
And if Chris Norris can get Shane Royal into this ring, he's been over there resting for quite a while. He might have a little bit of fire built up in him to take on these two cripplers, at least for a little bit. You see a big leapfrog right there with a hit to the back, another hit to the back, Irish whip reversal, and a big elbow right to the jaw. Chris Norris just can't seem to catch a break right here, Joe Wheeler.
No doubt about that. Is Scott Sterling now moving back in on Norris. Caught him with a hard shot right there as well, as Norris is definitely in trouble at the hands of Scott Sterling. Sterling now brings this man back up and caught him with another big forearm blow right to the top of the head. Scott Sterling is being relentless here. And they're not called the cripplers for nothing. They know how to hurt somebody and hurt them fast. But Chris Norris is firing back. Oh, and just that fast. A rake across the eyes as Scott Sterling has the match well back under control.
That's all it takes is just one dirty move from Scott Sterling, and that run is just ended from Chris Norris. He thought he had something building up, and it just got destroyed by that one rake of the eyes. As we see Scott Sterling using that rope to choke him out. And now he's using his boot to choke him out. Scott Sterling just showing a blatant disregard for the rule book right here.
Sterling with a snapmare takeover into a reverse chinlock position on Norris, as he's going to wear this young man down a little bit, try to stop some of that momentum, try to take a little of that fire out of him, if you will. Fans, we're glad you're tuned in, turned on, and checking out Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour. No matter how you may be joining us, whether it's on Heartland Television in the Tri-Cities or on Facebook, Blip TV, we do appreciate you turning in, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Please send us an email. Go to kingofkingsport.com and drop us an email. Let us know what you enjoy about Southern States Wrestling. Oh, Norris just that fast. He thought he had escaped. He thought he had found his back door, and just that fast, Scott Sterling shut that door on him, Dakota.
There we go. Double eye rake right here. Is Frank Parker distracting the referee? Here we go. Scott Sterling is bringing Chris Norris back up to his feet. Gets him with a snapmare. That chokehold is something fierce as he's reaching out to tag his partner, Chris Norris. Chris Norris starting to fight back a little bit. Off the ropes, ducks a fist, gets a crossbody, and only a 2 count.
Scott Sterling now bringing Norris back up to his feet and also bringing him back into the corner where he's made that tag to Mr. Destruction, Frank the Tank Parker. as Frank now going to work on Chris Norris here. Big tag team matchup here in Southern States Wrestling. Power Half Hour fans, we're glad you're tuned in and checking it out. Frank Parker in control of where he was for the moment. Norris was able to get out of there, and now Norris has got this opportunity. He better make the most of it just that fast. Frank Parker with a fireman's carry. He's got him up there. Parker with all that power and strength and drove his man down right there. This is probably going to do it as the Cripplers take home another victory.
Scott Sterling making sure of that by going over and knocking Shane Royal out of the ring. And now they're just still going to town on Chris Norris as if he hasn't had enough. And Shane Royal trying to help his partner out, and this immediately gets thrown out of the ring. And they're...
Shane Royal may be badly injured that knee. He hit that concrete floor very, very hard.
And here comes Bo James. About to check on Shane Royal. He's helping him up here. And Frank Parker motioning Bo James to get in the ring. And Bo James taking off his watch, taking off his ring. He's been taunted for the last time. Bo James getting in the ring to take on the Cripplers right here. Gets him with a kick and elbow. He's taking on both of them right now, right here in the middle of the ring. The big chop, another big chop.
He is taking care of business. Bo James is walking tall and stomping a mud hole and a couple of rear ends right now that badly need it. Bo James is cleaning house. Laying him in on him. I tell you what, this has been a long time coming right here. Oh no, here comes Joe Briggs. Joe Briggs from behind. Joe Briggs, the third member of the Cripplers, if you will. He's coming from behind, and now Bo is in trouble out there, Dakota. They've got him down. We need to get some help out here. If anybody in the locker room can hear me on the monitors, we need to get some help out here before they hurt him badly. They're kicking him in the back.
I've had enough of this, Joe.
Dakota, don't do it! Oh my God, Dakota's hit the ring. Dakota can't take it anymore. And Joe Briggs now wearing out Dakota. Absolutely wearing him out. Jake's come in now. Jake's gone after Briggs to put a stop to that. Oh my. We've got pandemonium. Scott Sterling, oh God, he just hit Dakota with a headbutt. Jake is doing everything he can, but him and Joe Briggs are going at it. Bo James has got his bullwhip. Bo's got his bullwhip back in hand. And the Booth brothers and Bo James are standing tall in the ring. Oh my goodness. What chaos that we've had right here. Boy, needless to say, things are heating up, getting hot around here, Bo James.
You know, they've always wanted to play the numbers. It's always 2 or 3 on 1 or 3 on 2 or whatever it may be. Right here may not be the biggest part of our family, but he's a scrappy one right here. And Joe Briggs, you just saw that. Jake Booth to the rescue. And let's not forget about Shoe Baby right here, my personal good friend Dutch Mantel, give me this. Frank Parker, you've been carrying it for a long time. Next time you see it, it's going to be taking the hide right off of your body.
There you have it, fans. Be sure to join us next week for more Southern States Wrestling. See you next week.